Big news. Disney World is rolling back social distancing and mask guidelines, bringing back live shows and hiring a fireworks designer. Things are moving closer to normal, and we've got all the latest Disney Parks news to keep you in the loop on what your upcoming trip might look like, because it's going to be different. It's all coming up right now on DFB Guide. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. In addition to the changes happening in Disney World, we also have some news from Disneyland, where there's now a virtual queue for a ride that isn't Rise of the Resistance. And soon you'll be able to get alcohol at another spot in the park. We've got new snacks and some new Crocs, so let's jump right in. The biggest news, masks are no longer required outdoors in Disney World. After the CDC had released updated guidelines on the necessity of fully vaccinated individuals wearing masks, Disney World has officially adjusted its policies. Beginning today, May 15th, guests will no longer be required to wear masks outdoors, except in certain situations. The official statement says face coverings are optional in outdoor common areas at Walt Disney World Resort, but are still required upon entering and throughout all attractions, theaters, and transportation. That means in queue lines and in theaters, even if they're outdoors. All guests ages 2 and up will be required to wear masks at all indoor locations, except when actively eating or drinking while stationary and maintaining appropriate physical distancing. Disney World is reducing social distancing in a gradual, phased approach from the previously recommended 6 feet distancing guidelines, so we expect to see some more changes over the coming weeks. Now, Universal Studios Orlando has updated their mask and social distancing policies with similar guidelines, while on the West Coast, Disneyland will be continuing with current mask and distancing policies for the time being. Disney World has also been quietly increasing park capacity. During an earnings call this week, Bob Chapek said there will be an immediate increase in the number of folks that we're able to admit into our parks through our reservation system. Up until now, the parks have been at 35% capacity. They have not yet announced what the percentage will increase to or has increased to. And in Disneyland, parks are allowed to increase capacity to 35% as soon as May 19th, and California's tiered reopening system is expected to be eliminated entirely on June 15th, meaning the parks could open at full capacity based on state guidelines. Disneyland has not made any announcements on changes to park capacity at this time. All right, Festival of the Lion King is back. Performances of the returning Festival of the Lion King, or Fotlka, in Animal Kingdom, we started as of yesterday. FOTLK is how we do the acronym. It's funny to say, maybe not. The show's been in soft open since last Saturday with some changes to accommodate social distancing and other safety guidelines. A celebration of the Festival of the Lion King is the official new name of the slightly different show. Seating in the theater is very limited and your entire party must enter together. The choreography is different. There are no sing-alongs, no kids parade at the end of the show, no tumble monkeys, and no aerial acrobatics, but the main tenets of the show are still there. Even in its modified format, this is still a must-do for us, and you'll want to plan to show up to the theater early, as this was a tough show to get into when the theater allowed for full capacity. Now, this one's super important if you're going to Disney World with kiddos. Magic Kingdom's Baby Care Center has moved. Construction continues in Magic Kingdom, and if you're looking to stop by the Baby Care Center, you'll need to look in a new location. A temporary Baby Care Center has been set up in Tomorrowland, back by the Carousel of Progress. This temporary location is expected to stick around until the fall. And Disney World is hiring a fireworks and special effects designer to develop/execute pyrotechnic and special effects designs for live shows across property, including parks, resorts, special events, and Disney Cruise Line. Disney has not yet released any details about when fireworks might return to the parks, but it does seem like the company is preparing to bring them back soon with this job listing, and we will certainly keep you posted. And if you're interested in more info or in applying, head to DisneyFoodBlog.com for the link. Next up, could concerts return to Epcot this fall? Well, Disney World has been keeping things pretty quiet regarding events during this year's Epcot Food and Wine Festival. Nothing has been outright canceled this year, and it doesn't have the Taste of in front of the festival name, so could we see a full food and wine festival this year with dining, seminars, and concerts? The Eat to the Beat concert series is still listed as temporarily unavailable, but Tiffany has tour dates listed in Epcot for November 12th to the 14th. Taylor Dayne did previously have some October dates listed, but they have been taken off her touring calendar, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Over in Disneyland, a second ride has joined the virtual queue system. Indiana Jones Adventure has a new virtual queue that will only open as needed each day, and guests can only request to join after entering Disneyland Park. The ride may switch between the standby line and virtual queue throughout the day, with standby taking place at Park Open and after all the day's boarding groups have been called. The line for this ride has been getting long, so this should help out with social distancing. Be sure to keep an eye on the Disneyland app though, so you'll know if you need to grab a virtual queue spot for this ride. And pricing has been released for the new Disney Cruise Line ship, the Disney Wish, that will set sail in June 2022. The maiden voyage, 5-night Bahamian cruise, June 9th to 14th, will set you back $5,700 to $9,400 for 2 guests, depending on the room type. Later sailing dates get a bit cheaper, with 4-night cruises starting around $2,000 for an inside cabin. Bookings open to everyone May 27th. We also got a peek at the Moana-inspired suite aboard the ship. The Wish Tower Suite is located in one of the ship's funnels. It's a 1,966 square foot penthouse with 2 main bedrooms, a children's room, a library that converts into a bedroom, and 4.5 bathrooms. Also, it has a dining area and pantry. So pricing details have not been released for the Tower Suite. This might be one you need to call about. In restaurant and snack news, Beverly is coming back to Epcot. When we learned that a new version of Club Cool, the Coca-Cola sponsored store and tasting experience, would be returning to Epcot, we had one question. Will Beverly be back? Yes, the bitter Italian aperitif soda will be back at Club Cool. The new Club Cool is expected to open this summer. And Hollywood Studios is debuting some new menus this week. First up, Hollywood Brown Derby has a revamped entree menu with new dishes like halibut Veronique and wild mushroom risotto. Yum. Don't worry, the famous Cobb salad is still around, and many of our favorite appetizers are still on the menu. This was mostly an entree shakeup. And Fairfax Fair at Sunset Ranch Market on Sunset Boulevard, my favorite restaurant at Sunset Ranch Market, because you guys know how I feel about that, has reopened this week, and they've got brand new menu of hot dogs. First up, the Chicago-style hot dog plant-based salad for $11.49. Yes, all those words go together. It's a plant-based bratwurst, romaine lettuce, sweet pickles, tomatoes, poppy seed, and celery seed brioche croutons, pickle relish, neon relish vinaigrette, sweet peppers, and mustard. Surprisingly tasty plant-based bratwurst and an interesting presentation. Vegetarians are going to like this one, and if you're looking for something with a little less bread, it's a good option as well. Next on the new menu, the California BLTA dog for $11.49. This is a quarter-pound hot dog with house-made black pepper mayonnaise and Cool Ranch tortilla chips, served on a brioche butter bun with pickled vegetables in a cup on the side. This was really fresh, and the bacon and avocado mixed together was a big hit for us. And those pickled veggies do have some kick, but of course, hot dog with Cool Ranch Doritos, sold. Next up, the truffle bacon macaroni and cheese dog for $11.49. This is served on the same brioche butter bun, and you'll find another quarter-pound hot dog, but this time it's topped with macaroni and cheese and applewood smoked bacon crumbles. This was our favorite of the ones we tried today because it was all paired very, very well. But next on the list is the pretzel dog for $11.49. As you might have guessed, this dog is served on a pretzel bun topped with sauerkraut. A little too much bread for the size of the hot dog, but not bad if you want a simpler option. Now, the Parmesan chips were a pretty solid portion size for a side item, and they're essentially house-made kettle chips with Parmesan cheese sprinkled on top. They were one of our favorites from the meal, and we definitely recommend those. Also in Hollywood Studios, Pretzel Palooza is back. The Pretzel Palooza cart by Rock and Roller Coaster has finally reopened, and while a simple pretzel cart wouldn't normally be a big deal, they have the cheddar jalapeno pretzel right now. This pretzel is killer, but it is tough to find. It bounces around a lot, and sometimes you can't find it at all, so this is a big pro tip. And at Trolley Car Cafe, that's the Hollywood Studios Starbucks, you'll find the strawberry funnel cake Frappucino. It's a weird sounding drink. It's actually just a Frappuccino with funnel cake flavored syrup and strawberry puree. You can definitely taste the funnel cake, and the coffee flavor is basically non-existent. It's dessert in a cup, and you'll find it at most Starbucks right now. Over at Gasparilla Island Grill in Disney World at the Grand Floridian Resort, there's a new pink flamingo dessert called the Tropical Flamingo Miniature Gateau. It's a golden sponge cake filled with a tropical flavored mousse with buttercream and a sugar flamingo. The cake was light and moist, but we have to say we wish there had been enough mousse and cake to balance all that frosting. If you're a mega icing fan, you'll love it. Try it for $7.99. Nomad Lounge in Animal Kingdom has a new margarita on the menu. It's made with Casa Dragones, mango puree, lime juice, simple syrup, jalapeno, and ancho reyes liqueur, and it is seriously spicy, like the spiciest margarita we've had in Disney World. The cast member told us that this drink came in for Cinco de Mayo, but that it will probably stay on the menu through the end of the month, so get over there to try this and the giant pepper along with it for $17. Dockside Margaritas in Disney Springs has another spicy margarita. The new Chipotle Pineapple Margarita is made with Don Julio Reposado Tequila, Grand Marnier, Chipotle Pineapple, sweet and sour, pineapple and lime juices, and a chili salt rim. The rim is nice and spicy, but we wanted more kick to the drink itself. Definitely not as spicy as the one at Nomad Lounge, but this is one tasty drink for $17. And I'm super excited to tell you guys about this because this is right in my wheelhouse. The Le Cellier Steakhouse in Epcot's Canada Pavilion has an interesting new item on the menu. The artisan cheese and charcuterie plate starts off pretty standard, a selection of house-made charcuterie paired with artisanal Canadian and French cheeses and seasonal accompaniments, priced at $21. Pretty standard, right? Then you get to the beef fat candle. The charcuterie board at Le Cellier is currently served with a 100% edible beef fat candle that is made in the Le Cellier kitchen out of slow rendered beef fat that's flavored with garlic and rosemary. As the candle melts, you can use it as a spread, and it was so good with a delicious rosemary flavor. Kind of weird, but don't knock it till you try it. And believe it or not, that's not the first beef fat candle we've had featured on Disney Food Blog over at Bull and Bear at the Waldorf Astoria, which I know I just talked about in another video. That's where I had my first beef fat candle, which was a very tall beef fat candle that they would melt it and then pour it over the tomahawk steak, and it was so good. Very indulgent. All right, we got more Disneyland restaurant reopenings. Blue Bayou in Disneyland Park finally has its opening date. It will be opening May 27th with reservations opening on May 18th. The menu is a bit limited, though the Monte Cristo is still around. The big news is that you will now be able to order wine and beer or a hurricane with your meal. This is the first Disneyland restaurant outside of Oga's Cantina and of course Club 33 to serve alcohol in Disneyland Park. And El Fresco Tasting Terrace in Disney California Adventure is opening May 20th exclusively for Legacy Pass holders. Paradise Garden Grill also reopened this week, not just for pass holders though. Napa Rose at the Grand California Resort is reopening for dinner on May 28th, and Storytellers Cafe, also at Grand Californian, is reopening on May 28th for breakfast and dinner, but without characters. Those three restaurants will open reservation bookings on May 18th as well, and GCH Craftsman Bar will start taking online reservations on May 28th. This one had reopened with the hotel, but was previously only open to hotel guests. In merchandise news, we've got a new Rey Lightsaber Hilt. There's another new lightsaber for sale in Galaxy's Edge. This one is Rey's, and it's based off her lightsaber at the end of The Rise of Skywalker. It's available for $139.99. And your droid from the Droid Depot in Galaxy's Edge just got a lot more colorful with a new set of rainbow panels. These rainbow panels are usually $12.99 a piece, but when you buy two, you can snag them for $8 each. And this week we also spotted some very patriotic footwear. We found tie-dye 4th of July Crocs at Elias & Co. in Disney California Adventure. These white Crocs have splashes of ruby red and bright blue on them, and they're $59.99. If those are too flashy, you can grab some plain white Disney Crocs on Shop Disney for $54.99. There's all the news for this week. Thank you guys for listening. Thanks for watching. If you want to be kept up to date on all of our news all week long, you can join our DFB newsletter. We've got the link in the description below this video, and we send out every piece of information, every piece of news to our newsletter subscribers. We keep you updated. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.